many years ago when I was in high school, I think, or maybe it was at the end of middle school, I went to a conference with my dad out of state. My dad was speaking at the conference. And I was sitting in the back of the room, and he was speaking to people. And he told a story that involved me coming about, me being born, because I was an important part of his life at that point. And then he kept talking about his life, and he didn't talk about me so much anymore after I was a baby. And at the end of his speech, he asked for questions. And one person stood up and said, "So what happened to the baby?" And he said, "Oh, actually, she's here. Morgan, why don't you stand up?" And so I stood up. I stood up as the baby. And I feel like I have to do that all the time. I have to stand up as the baby. I am taken most seriously when I'm talking about the perspective that babies have. At one point, that really bothered me because I was trying to grow up and be an adult, and I didn't want to be the baby for the rest of my life. But now I feel that it's extremely important that I stand up as the baby and say, "Hi, I'm still here." And I have things to say about my experience with my parents. And I can tell you that as a baby, it didn't really matter to me about my parents' gender identities or their sexual orientations. It mattered to me that I had parents and that they were taking care of me. I can also tell you that I was able to grow up and not be a baby anymore and be absolutely fine. So when people ask what happened to the baby, whether they're literally asking that or if they're just discussing the impact of LGBT people having children, then I really can answer that question, I think.